Mistakes beginners make when they go hiking. There's a huge list of mistakes that people make when they go hiking, especially beginners, but I'm going to focus on the main three. And these main three will pretty much ruin your hike. So I'm going to start with your backpack. A lot of people either don't fill up their backpack enough or fill it up way too much. You really want to find a nice balance when you bring your backpack. First, think about what kind of hike you're doing. If it's a short hike, a couple miles, you're not going to need to bring very much. Maybe just some water, some snacks, maybe a little sandwich. But you really don't need to bring your whole house with you. It's a simple hike, that's all. Now, if you're going on a much longer hike, but it's still just a day hike, you can bring a little bit more. Maybe bring a first aid kit, especially if there's slopes that you could potentially injure yourself on. But you still don't need to bring that much. Now, you will have to bring more if you are going somewhere to camp or if you're doing a multi-day hike. That, of course, is a different story, but for a regular day hike, you just need a little day pack to bring with you your snacks and your water and things like that. But it is best to have a certain amount to be prepared so you don't, your bag isn't entirely empty. But taking too much is a real drag. It can really exhaust you more than necessary. My next tip is making sure you choose a hike that is appropriate to your hiking level. Now, of course, there are many, many types of hikes. Some are very simple. They might just be flat land, a nice walk through the woods sort of thing, only a couple of miles. Then there are, of course, very, very challenging hikes. You might have to climb some rocks, cross rivers, very treacherous terrain, and they might be 20 miles, 40 miles, multi-day hikes. So as a beginner, it's kind of obvious that you shouldn't start with, Mount Kilimanjaro. You should be a little bit more humble with your hiking skills. A lot of people make the mistake of thinking, overestimating their hiking skills, and you should not do that because nature will beat you up, basically. And to avoid that, to avoid having a bad hiking experience, try to choose a hike that is more suited for your level. If you've never gone hiking before, you should probably get more in shape, maybe take some walks down the street before you jump into the wilderness. But there are plenty of hikes that are really good for beginners. Sometimes a single park will have several different types of trails, some for beginners and some for intermediates and some for more advanced hikers. So just keep an eye out for those types of hikes when you go out to parks. Often there'll be a little map and it'll tell you how long the hike is, where it goes, that sort of thing. And of course you could also use internet or apps to help you locate beginner hikes throughout the whole country, because of course there are countless hikes that you can go on as a beginner and enjoy without getting into treacherous terrain. This will help ensure that your hike is much more enjoyable and you're not going to be just breathless and worn out at the end of it. It's also much safer because obviously more advanced hikes require more advanced skills, and if you go in without that experience, you could injure yourself. You could get hurt in the wilderness, and that of course is very dangerous. My third and arguably most important tip is what you wear when you go hiking. So a lot of people have no idea what to wear to optimize their hiking experience. And let me tell you that from personal experience, anything made of cotton is your worst enemy, because cotton is not a breathable fabric. It's a nice natural fabric just for regularly wearing in your day-to-day life, but hiking, it is a terrible thing to wear because it absorbs water so easily and it does not dry fast at all. So as soon as you start sweating or if it starts raining, that cotton is going to hold onto that moisture and never let go. It also, for that reason, makes it a pretty unpleasant breeding ground for bacteria once that moisture sets in. That can also make your clothes smell pretty bad. This is especially true of cotton socks. Cotton socks are the last thing you want to wear when you're hiking, especially for long distances. The best materials for hiking to be breathable, lightweight, antibacterial, moisture wicking, merino wool is a really, really good option, especially for socks. You will find that almost every professional hiker wears merino wool socks. mainly because, okay, they're moisture wicking, they're antibacterial, extremely breathable, they fluctuate well with different temperatures, they're a little bit better for cooler temperatures, but they can do well also in warmer temperatures. They will, stay breezy and keep your feet cool. They're also good for gripping your foot so that you can minimize blisters as much as possible. Merino wool clothes are also good for colder temperatures, but for most of your other clothes, nylon or polyester are really good options. I personally prefer polyester because it's very, very light. This shirt is made of polyester. Mostly there's a bit of spandex as well, so it's a little bit stretchy, but it's super light, moisture wicking, everything you could want, especially good for hot weather, which we get a lot here in Florida. But wearing the right type of clothing is the difference between a great, wonderful hike and a dreadful hike. So do your research on different types of hiking clothes and especially the materials that they're made of, and that will make a really big difference in the quality of your hike. Those are my main tips for hiking. If you like this video and want to watch more, stick around because I make videos around 3 times a week on this channel. So subscribe if you want to be alerted when they come out, and don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it.